This is Eagle Owl, and today I'll be talking about AJ Brown possibly coming back. Also, Zack Baun performance. I gotta talk about it. Lastly, I think actually, I know Nick Sirianni is calling some plays, but let's get straight into it. All right, man. Before we get straight into it, I forgot, man. I forgot to talk about my guy Covey. Covey, he'll be out for 6 weeks. And I've been big on Covey. I'm like, yo, Covey is showing signs he can be a really good receiver in this league. But at the same time, I look at his injury and I see like, oh, that's why we need another wide receiver because Covey is smaller. He took one big shot and broke his shoulder. Not saying he's soft or anything, but I just got to be honest. Football is a physical sport. One big shot hurt his shoulder. And I mean, he was showing signs like, yo, he could be like an Edelman type guy because when Jalen Hurts threw it to him in the flat, I thought nothing was there. Covey beat his man's. He just took a hard hit and landed right on his shoulder. And I knew it because he came out on other plays, but he just didn't look the same. I'm like, something not right. I guess they pulled him, x-ray, it's the shoulder. So prayers up for him. And I also want to play a clip by Fred Johnson. And he talked about how big the moment was when he came in and he seen Saquon Barkley run for a touchdown. Yeah, Fred! Yeah, Fred! Hell yeah,
Fred! Hell yeah, Fred! I was just saying, hell yeah, Fred. I mean, it's been a long time since I played ball, bro. It's been, 3 years? I don't know. Y'all go look at the stats. 3 solid years. I played real snaps since 2020, 2021, something like that. 3 or 4 years. I was like, after that touchdown with Saquon, I almost cried on the sideline. I ain't gonna lie. I got emotional. I got real emotional because I thought I'd never be back, like, in action. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody know some of my story, and it's just been a long time coming. And when I seen him running and score, like, I got hype. I got real hype. And then, I was just grateful for the moment and ready to go back out and do it again.
That's a big moment, man. I mean, Fred Johnson, he's been one of those guys that been talked about like by Kelsey, by Lane Johnson, by a lot of starters. But us fans and people watching, like, we don't see him on the field, so we really don't know. But they like, yo, Fred Johnson is one of those gems. And remember, we gave him a semi-big contract for a backup. I'm like, dang, we paying Fred Johnson that much? And you see why. He's worth every penny. Every penny. And that's why you lock guys up like that, because now other teams are looking at him like, yo, maybe we could. Nope, you can't sign him because he's under a nice deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. So he's going to be here for a while. And he shows signs, man. He might be a decent replacement for Lane Johnson. He might be a decent one. Of course, there's going to be hiccups here and there, but he definitely shows signs he can be that guy. But let's get into the topics, man. Let's just talk about Nick Sirianni first. Nick Sirianni is trying to ruin our team, man. No way. You can't do this to us, Nick Sirianni. You cannot do that. You know what? Let me just play the clip and then I will possibly go on the rant.
And then Zach.
Hey, Nick, how often will you decide to call a play on offense, and what determines when you do?
Yeah, just, I don't say a number, but here and there, that's going to happen. And that's regardless of, whether it was 21, 22, 23, or 24. We're all coming up with the game plan together. We're all putting in the work together. We got good minds on the offensive side and defensive side. And so, you talk through things. Kellen's obviously the one calling plays, but everything is collaborative as far as the way we go through our process and in game. That just because I did it in that one, that doesn't mean there's not a play that Kevin Patullo's not saying in the ear of Kellen, hey, what do you think about this there? And Kellen going, yeah, I like that idea. Or, Jeff Stoutland or Jason Michael on a run play particularly, or TJ on a run play saying, hey, they're doing this in this scenario. What do you think about this? Now, and so like that happens throughout the game over and over and over again. And I mean, that's just the way every staff I've ever been on whether I'm the head coach or whether I'm the offense coordinator or whether I was a quarterback coach or whether I was a receiver coach. That's how that works, and that's how that worked. And I'm assuming that that's like that for, teams I haven't been on as well. And so, but I also understand the scrutiny that will happen. When something like that happens, I wanted you guys to know yesterday that in that scenario, that with a questionable call there, that I made that decision, right? And so that's why I let you guys in on that, because Kellen didn't need to bear that because I did that. And so that's why I brought you in on that yesterday, not to open the door of, well, how many times you call this or how many times you call that or how many times is this it's collaborative. And in that particular case, I called that one and it didn't work. And when that happens, I will always make sure that you guys know about that.
We'll finish with Zach and then Olivia.
You see, man, I heard that. First of all, stop with all the fluff. Like, yeah, this guy can come up with plays and this wide receiver. Well, I don't want to hear any of that. Those dudes don't have the power to execute the play. Yeah, the running back coach can make a suggestion. Jeff Stoutland can make a suggestion. All these dudes can make a suggestion, but you're actually calling plays. And I know each one. Oh, that's a QB draw. That's Nick Sirianni. Oh, some motion, some creativity. Oh, that's Kellen Moore. That's Kellen Moore. And that really makes me think, how much control did this dude have over Brian Johnson last year? Like, management, Howie and those dudes, they gotta step in. This dude is about to fuck up the team, because every time it's up to him, something goes wrong. I'm assuming he's the one that come up like, yeah, we going for it on these situations or whatever. Fuck that up. Certain plays, he called the tush push thing. Fuck that up. And I just know when I see a Nick Sirianni play. I know when I see it. Like that mesh play with Dallas Goddard. I bet you Kellen Moore came up with that. I bet you that was Kellen Moore. But when I see them tight end screens and the wide receiver screens, that's Nick Sirianni, man. That's Nick Sirianni, man. He's about to fuck this up. Like, he's seriously about to fuck this up. Like, it's something special. Nick Sirianni just got to stay out the way. He's literally a roadblock. I could talk about all this other stuff, but he's the big roadblock. He's the constant. First year with Nick Sirianni, we seen bad play calling. Then, of course, when Shane Steichen took over the end of the year and year one, and then year two, Shane Steichen took over. The offense looked good. Nick Sirianni still has something to prove. Year three, he took advantage of Brian Johnson, got his whole staff fired. And now this year, everybody was going into the season like, yes, he's just a motivator. Thank you. He's just a motivator. And it seemed like he still want to prove something, bro. Like, he still want to prove like he can call plays and do creative things. And it's just not him. And that's okay. A lot of the players talk highly of Nick Sirianni because they like him as a person. But as a play caller, if I had to, this not going to be leaked out or anything like that. And you ask these players like, yo, is Nick Sirianni a good play caller? I bet you they say, hell no. I bet $1 million they say, hell no. We like him, but, his coaching ain't all that. It's not. It's just not. And don't ruin this, man. Like I said in my last video, not 99.9 Kellen Moore. Not 90% Kellen Moore, not 95, not 80. We need 100% Kellen Moore. That's it. We need Nick Sirianni out the way. Nick Sirianni should be like the wide receiver coach and Jeff Stoutland and stuff like that. Come up with suggestions, but his play should not be executed. This should not be a collaboratory thing. Let Kellen Moore cook. Let him cook. I mean, this dude, Nick Sirianni, man, he is in the way big time. He's in the way. And if this season go to shit, it's on Nick Sirianni. You gotta fire him. And I don't want this season to go to shit. I want Nick Sirianni to get in his head, like, you know what? A lot of the stuff I did that last game wasn't like the brightest. Let me step back more and just really let Kellen Moore take over. I hope he do that. I really, really do. Seriously do. Hell, if he do that, he save a job. He still get paid millions of dollars. Just like Kellen Moore cook, man. Let him cook. This is not the season to experiment. All right, so let's get into the next topic. Let's talk about AJ Brown. So AJ Brown sound like he might play, but let me play this clip by Adam Schefter.
What is the update on Devontae Smith? How should we be viewing that?
They got him and Lane Johnson in concussion protocol this week. So typically, normally guys in protocol usually don't make it back for the next week. So now we've got two wide receiver questions for Philadelphia, not to mention a major one along its offensive line with Lane Johnson. A.J. Brown initially had said that he thought he would miss a couple of weeks. This would be a couple of weeks. So I'm going to guess that A.J. Brown's going to test out the hamstring to see how he's doing. And Devontae Smith has to go through the protocol to where he's got to get cleared. It's always very difficult to predict whether a player will or won't make it through protocol, other than more often than not, they don't. So that's kind of where we're at with Devontae Smith. And the Eagles have two big questions going into a big week, and they're fortunate to get that win. Goddard makes that play, defensive breakdown. Can you imagine what that city of Philadelphia would have been like if they had lost that game yesterday? Oh, boy.
You see, it sound like he might play. So it sound like we might miss Lane Johnson. We might miss Devontae Smith because we know concussion protocol is almost like a guarantee you're going to miss a game. So we might be out with those two. But AJ Brown, like he said, he might miss a couple games. It literally been a couple games. So he might give it a go against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm starting to get that feeling too, like he's going to play. He's definitely going to play. And I just hope we just don't push him out there because it feel like we need him. Because I think you can I seen something wrong with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It could be a low scoring game, but I think you could beat them with Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. And the way the defense been playing, yeah, I think we could stop Baker Mayfield too. So I legit think we could beat this team that's coming up without our two stars. But if AJ Brown come back and he's fully healthy and can give it a go ahead and do it, because then that next week you still got the bye. So hopefully, he can give it a go, because I'm not sure what's going on in the Washington game, but last time I was looking, Washington was looking good. So, yeah, man, it looked like it's going to be between us and Washington, ironically. So it's not a must win when we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it'll be a good win going into the bye. Got the momentum. And, you just keep it going, because then it's a long season ahead. Extremely long season ahead. All right, so let's talk about the last topic. Zack Baun, man. Zack Baun. I just couldn't go another video without talking about Zack Baun, because I was going off about the Smitty thing and all other stuff. But I almost forgot to talk about Zack Baun, a positive thing. And we keep talking about this with CJ Gardner-Johnson revenge game. We keep forgetting how the Saints did Zack Baun. They made Zack Baun look like a scrub, like he was just anybody. And Vic Fangio took him under his wing and showed what he can do with him. He got 13 tackles against the Saints. And mind you, the reason why we don't bring up, and a lot of people not bringing it up, is the block punt, is because Zack Baun. Because remember, that drive, when they blocked the punt, they had the ball like at the 20. I'm like, oh, man, we about to give up some points. They go for it on 4th and 3. Zack Baun blows up the tight end and was still able to tackle Alvin Kamara and get the turnover on downs. But let's actually let Baldy break it down.
Dive on Zack Baun in this game, but this play on 4th and 1 probably decided the game. Here comes the tight end across the formation. Foster Moreau to block him. Bam! Bam! Like you just melt that bucket, and then you take Kamara and you pull him backwards. And he can't get a stinking yard. Zack Baun made that play. He got help, but he played one hell of a game. He is He leads the NFL in tackles right here. Watch this play. Watch this from this angle. Leads the entire National Football League in tackles after 3. Bam. Stays on his feet. Down goes Kamara. He was a little pumped up to get down to New Orleans and show his old team where he was for 4 years. But that play, where's the fist? There's the fist. Slay's got it. 4th down. Stop. It's a turnover. Huge play in the game.
Phenomenal. I think he was like the 3rd highest graded Eagle. We already know it was Jalen Carter number 1. I forgot who was number 2 and number 3. I know Reed was somewhere up there. I probably had a picture come up. But all in all, man, Zack Baun, he's been nothing but phenomenal. Even the Atlanta game, I can't really say it was on him and the linebackers like Nakobe Dean in general. It was just bad playing by the defensive line. That's how you know everything start with the trenches, because once the defensive line got it going against the Saints, it made the linebackers look much better. Like Nakobe Dean, low key had a great day. It's just that Zack Baun was just everywhere, edge here, there, was covering. He was doing a lot. Whereas we know Nakobe Dean is a downhill type guy, but Zack Baun is that versatile Van Ginkel type guy. So shout out to Zack Baun, man. But hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? Nick Sirianni is ruining our team. Zack Baun is Zack Bauning out here, or Zack bombing, I should say, out here. And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.